Right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Let's begin our session. So, in the previous class, we were discussing about the Maven tool. We have started the introduction part of Maven. We understood like what is Maven and all. Maven is a build tool. Maven is a Java-based build tool. So the introduction part that we have seen yesterday in the last class is like Maven is a Java-based build tool. Okay, Maven is a Java-based build tool. We understood why it is called as a Java-based build tool because it is a build tool which is used for building the Java source code. And there are other build tools also for Java. So for building the Java source code, we have other build tools also. We have build tools like Ant, Gradle, all the other tools are also there. But Maven is the popular tool that is widely being used. And Ant and Gradle are also used, but based on the scenarios. So that is based on the team that they decide. So for now, we will be discussing about a build tool to get some idea on like how actually the build tool works, what is the use, what is the main objective of build tool, all those things we will understand. And as I told you, like Maven is a build tool for the Java source code. Similarly, we have other build tools like MS Build. MS Build is a build tool for .NET source code, and PyBuild is a build tool for the Python source code. So for each and every technology that we are using, we have build tools. We have an individual build tools. So we need to understand, like suppose if we are not aware, like what is the build tool that we are using for Python, we can go ahead and we can search in the Google, like what is the build tool for Python like that. And we also discussed about there are three types of artifacts. So usually once after applying the build tool, once we apply the build tool, we will be getting a package which is called as artifact. Okay, we will be having a source code of Java, and on top, so we are going to compile the source code of Java with the help of Maven tool. So when we apply the Maven tool, okay, with the help of Maven tool, we can build the source code. Once we build the source code, we will be getting an artifact, which is nothing, which is also called as package. And we had a discussion like there are three types of packages that we can create: jar package, war package, or ER package. These are the three different types of packages that we can create. Okay. And we also discussed that the full forms of jar, the full form of jar, var, and ER. Jar stands for Java Archived, var stands for Web Archived, ER stands for Enterprise Archive. These are the things that we have seen. And what is an example for jar file? You see, Java stands for Java Archived. So when did the jar file will be created? Jar file will be created if we are working for a standalone application like calculator. And if you are working for a web application like Gmail, Facebook, or any kind of web application, so var file will be the artifact. So suppose if it is how can we know that whether the artifact that should be the artifact that is generating will be a jar, var, or ER? So developer will mention everything in the pom.xml file. While writing the Java source code, developer will also write a pom.xml file. We'll also be having a file called pom.xml. So in that pom.xml file, developer will mention each and everything like what kind of artifact that is going to be generated. Each and everything will be mentioned. And what about ER? ER will be usually generated for a multi-module applications. As I told you yesterday, so we can consider any of the application as multi-module application, like where it has multiple modules. Okay, as I told you, one example, right? We have seen one example for ICICI Net Banking. So personal banking, privileged bank, personal banking, corporate banking, like that. We have different types of net banking, right? So we'll be considering each and every one as a separate module. Okay, and so that those kind of applications are usually called as multi-module applications. So for them, usually the artifact that will be generated is in the form of EAR, Enterprise Archived. And let us start the installation process of this one. So for that, we need to install one. We need to launch one server. And yesterday's server, I have whatever the server that I have launched yesterday that I have deleted. I'm going to launch one more server with the name of the Maven. I'm selecting Amazon Linux as an operating system. Here, instance type as t2.micro. Key pair, I'm selecting as DevOps 29kp. Coming down, I'm going ahead. I'm not making any other changes. You already know. You are already aware of creating a server in the previous sessions. From the previous sessions, I'm just launching a server. So I'm just launching a server. Okay, with the same options that we have used earlier. If you have any doubts, you can go back and you can see how can a server can be launched. So once the server will up and run, let's connect to the server and let's install all the required softwares, okay, to see the practicals of Maven, how the Maven tool is used. I'm just connecting to the server. This is a Linux server. And I already mentioned you the reason like why we are connecting to the Linux servers and why we are installing all of the DevOps tools. Most of the environment, they use DevOps, most of the environments, okay? Most of the environments, we install DevOps tools in the Linux environments only. Okay, for the security reasons and all, we use to install DevOps tools in the Linux environments only. Okay, we got connected to the server and we're able to see the IP address. This is the IP address. If we see this particular thing like EC2 user at the right IP address, it is the username. EC2 user is nothing but a regular user, normal user. So IP address, this is the IP address of this particular server. This is the private IP of this particular server. If you want to know where this IP will be, you can go here. You can just click on the details of the server. Can you see what is the IP address? What is the private IP address of this particular server? 172.31.4.211. The same thing only you will find here. 172.31.4.211. This is the IP address of the server. Okay. So once we see the IP address, then we can confirm that we got connected to this server. Fine. The very first command I told you, we need to switch from normal user to the root user. Why we are switching? Suppose if we want to install any kind of softwares, if we are installing any of the softwares, we need more privileges. Sometimes we might need more privileges. If we need more privileges, definitely we need to switch as a root user. Okay, so for switching from normal user to the root user, we are using a command called sudo su hyphen. That's the reason why I'm just running the command sudo su hyphen. And you might observe that here we got switched as a root user. And I already told you what are the required tools that we need to install for the Maven. Okay, so we need to install Java. Why? Because Maven is a Java-based build tool. Okay, usually we are working for Maven. We are trying to understand what is Maven. Suppose if I want to install Maven, and we are saying that Maven is a Java-based build tool. Definitely, what is the tool that we require? What is the prerequisite that we require for Maven? So to run the Maven, okay, Maven is a Java-based build tool. So definitely, Maven is also designed by using Java only. That's the reason why, if I want to install Maven, the Java should be present inside our machine. Java should be there. So Java is needed. I'm talking about the prerequisites. Java should be there. Maven should be there. And Git. So why we are using Git? Why we are thinking to install Git? The Git is also needed because we use some Git commands. I am going to run some Git commands. To run some Git commands, definitely Git is also required. Okay, let me show you the difference. Suppose if I run like this, I'm going to run a command called git space hyphen hyphen version. Okay, I just wanted to check whether the git version is present here in this machine or not. So for that, I am running a command called git space hyphen hyphen version. I am able to see that git command is not found. So if we see this kind of error, bash git command not found, bash maven command not found. If you see any similar kind of errors, you need to understand that the particular thing is not found. Okay, that particular version is not found here. That's the reason why it is showing git not found. Okay, git space hyphen hyphen version. It is clearly showing that the command is not found. Fine. Now, if I want to, okay, if I want to install Git, Git is not here. Git is not here. If I want to install Git, what I should do? Can you tell me what is the command that we have used? What is the command that we were using? Yum install. I told you yum. Okay. Suppose in Linux environment, if you want to install any of the packages, we are going to use two package repositories. We are going to use two repository managers like yum as well as apt. Yum and apt. So yum is used for some Linux flavors. apt is used for some other Linux flavors. So how can we differentiate between yum and apt? You can run sudo apt install git. I'm just running a command called sudo apt install git. It is clearly saying that apt command not found. It is clearly saying that apt command not found. So let's try with yum. Okay, let's try with yum. So if keep on going, so keep on using the Linux environments, you will understand that whether we need to use M repository for this flavor of operating system or we need to use apt. So for Ubuntu, okay, for Ubuntu Amazon Linux, see this Amazon Linux, we are using a flavor called Amazon Linux. We got connected to a machine which is installed with Amazon Linux operating system. So in Amazon Linux, yum will work. Why? Because I came to know I have used many times. That's the reason why I'm telling. So yum will work in the Amazon Linux operating system. If you go to the Ubuntu, in Ubuntu, yum repository will not work. In Ubuntu, maybe you need to try with the apt install. But these are the two package managers most of the times we use, yum as well as apt. If yum is not working, please try with apt. Now I'm just running yum1 sudo yum install git. So it is asking whether you want to proceed with your installation. Yes. I'm just giving yes and proceeding with the installation. So git is installed. How to check whether git is installed or not? How can we confirm? Git space hyphen version. So can you see here git version is installed. Earlier, before we install, we are already tried with the same command, and that time it has shown like git command not found. Okay, but now I'm able to see the git version 2.40.1. In the same way, you can install all the packages. Okay, you can install all the things. So I want to install Java. I told you like you can simply run a command like sudo yum install Java. So if you do like this, the latest version of the Java will be installed. The latest version of the Java will get installed. We don't want the latest version of the Java. I just want JDK 11 or JDK 8, something like that. I want to customize. I want JDK 17 or 21, something like that. I want to customize my version. I don't want to install Java latest version. If I directly run this command, it will pick up the latest version that is present over here. Okay. So if you want to customize your Java version, you need to go to the Google and search like Java download. I'm just going to the Google. Okay. So what I'm searching is here Java download. I'm searching like Java download. And here we have many links where we can go and download Java. Okay, you can try anything. But let me try. We have few links where we can directly go ahead and download without without signing into the website. So most of the websites will ask for sign in. Only few websites will not ask for the sign in. So I'm just searching for it. Okay. Let me see. I'm just searching for Java download. You see, we have many websites like oracle.com, java.com. You can go to any of the websites and you can download a particular version of that. How to download OpenJDK is not the one. OpenLogic, yes. This will work, I think. Okay, I have used it many times. If you go to this openlogic.com, it is not mandatory that you have to go to this openlogic.com website, okay? Because it is up to you. Like you can directly download from the oracle.com, www.oracle.com. There also it is having we are having Java versions and all. You can download the Java versions from there. But you need to sign in. Okay. If you want to download, definitely it is asking for the sign in. But this website is not asking me the sign in. That's the reason why I'm choosing this one. Okay. You see openlogic.com. I'm coming here. I'm just selecting few of the packages here. You see the list of packages that are available. You can select. I need JDK 8. Okay. I need JDK 11. Okay. Let's go with the JDK 11. And I'm going with the operating system called Linux. 64-bit operating system. I'm using 64-bit. We are all using 64-bit operating system nowadays. And I'm going with the JDK package. Now you see JDK 11, Linux, 64-bit, JDK. I want to go for RPM package. We have different packages available, .deb, .rpm, .tor, .gz. There are many packages available. Let's go with the RPM package. Okay, let's see the different. Let's see. Okay, let's look after the remaining packages later. But see, I'm going to copy the link of this particular one. I'm just going to the Google and I'm searching where we can download the Java 11 version. Here, this is the RPM package I would like to download. I'm just giving a right click on it. I'm copying the link address. Copying the link address, okay? And going to my Linux server back. This is my terminal. I'm using wget command. Wget is also a Linux command. Most of you are aware of wget. Wget is also a Linux command. What can we do with the help of Linux command? We can download anything. If you want to download anything from the internet, yes, you need to provide the URL of that particular one. Okay, you need to provide the URL. Not sure whether this is RPM1 or not. Let me paste it here to see what is the extension. Okay. The extension is RPM only. Fine. So this is the one. Let me see. There should be space between the wget and HTTPS. Wget what is happening? Let me see. So what we need to do is wget space. Okay, I'm clearing the screen. With the help of clear command, I'm clearing the screen. You need to run by using wget and the URL of that particular. Okay, whatever the URL that we have copied, right? That one. What is happening? I don't. What I'm doing is, you see, wget is the command I'm using, and I'm going to paste the URL. That's it. I'm just giving an enter. Okay, so that the JDK package will get downloaded. Wget space. I'm giving the URL of that one so that the package will be downloaded. How can you verify if any file is downloaded? How can you verify? Can you tell me? You can verify by using ls command. Just give an ls command so that you can able to see whether the package is downloaded or not. Yes, it is downloaded. The package got downloaded to your Linux machine. Hope you understood how we are downloading a package. Okay, if the package is not available in the yum repository, usually we can run a command called sudo yum install java. Okay, usually we will run a command like sudo yum install java or sudo apt install java. If the package is not available in the repository manager called yum or apt, definitely we can also do like this. We can download something from the internet by using wget command, wget and the URL of that particular one, so that the package will be downloaded to your local. And you can give ls command and see the package is downloaded or not. Yes, package is downloaded. Now, how to install this RPM package? We can simply run a command called sudo yum install. Okay, sudo yum install. You can copy this particular package and you can give it here so that the package will be installed. This is the package and I would like to install that Java 11 inside my machine. Okay, I'm just trying to install it. You see, it is asking for the confirmation. What I'm running, hope you're aware of it, sudo yum install. This is the command I'm using. Sudo yum install, and I'm giving the reference package that I have downloaded. This is the package that I have downloaded. I'm just copying it. I'm just copying it and pasting it over here so that it is asking for the installation. Proceed with the installation. Yes, give it. I'm proceeding with the installation so that the Java will get installed. Once the Java is installed, you can verify the Java version by using a command called java space --- version. Once Java is installed, you can verify the Java version by using java space -version. Can you see what is the Java version that we installed? 11, JDK 11. That's what we have, right? That's what the link that we have downloaded. If you want some other version like 17, go to the 17. Select your operating system. Your operating system is Linux, 64-bit, JDK. Copy the URL of this RPM and you can go ahead. Okay, you can go there and you can paste it over there. That's it. wget. What is the command we are using for downloading anything from the internet? If you want to download anything from the internet, what is the command we use? wget space the URL of that particular download. Whatever the item that you are going to download, you need to provide the URL of that particular package. That's it. The package will be downloaded and you need to run by using yum install, sudo yum install. That's it. The package will get installed. Now Java is installed. So once the Java is installed, we should also, what are the things, what are the prerequisites that we thought we need to install? The prerequisites that we thought to install is we need to install Java and we should also install, what is the other package that we need to install? Maven. We should install Maven. How to install Maven? Let's see. So we can also run a command called, let's see, I'm just running a command sudo yum install Maven. We can run sudo yum install Maven. Directly, you see, if I do not give, if I run this command, again, it is asking for your confirmation, right? If I am running sudo yum install Maven, the Maven package will be downloaded. And once it is downloaded, to proceed with the installation, it is asking for the confirmation. So that time I'm giving Y and I'm proceeding with enter. So if you want to avoid that, you can directly provide -y option here in the command itself. Sudo yum install maven -y. What is the meaning? So maven will get downloaded. Once it is downloaded, it will not ask for your confirmation. Directly the installation will also be proceeded. You see, it will not ask for my confirmation anything. I just provided sudo yum install -y. I've just provided sudo yum install maven -y. I am downloading a Maven package from the internet. You see, from the M repository where the packages are available. The installation is completed. And how can we verify the version? How can we verify the version? We can verify the version by using a command called ambient space hyphen version. So all the Maven commands will start with the ambient keyword. All the Maven commands will start with ambient keyword. Suppose if I want to check what is the Maven version that is installed, yes, we can check by using ambient space hyphen version. Can you see here? The Maven version is installed. We installed Java, we installed Maven, we also installed Git, right? Do you know how to verify the Git version? Git space hyphen version. Git is also there. Git is also there. We installed three softwares. Git, Maven, Git, Java, and Maven. All the three softwares we have installed. Now, we will see the practicals, okay? How actually we use build tool called Maven. How we are going to use a build tool called Maven for generating the artifact. You understood, right? What is the main purpose? Why we are using this Maven tool? So we are using this Maven tool. Let me show you. We are using the Maven tool because we will be having a Java source code. Once the Java source code is available, what I am going to do on the Java source code, I am going to use a Maven tool. Okay, Maven is a build tool. With the help of this Maven tool, I am going to generate an artifact. I'm going to generate an artifact. Artifact is also nothing but, see, whatever the jar file or var file that are being created, EAR file, okay, I told you, right? So artifact in the sense, it will be created in the form of .jar extension or otherwise .var extension or otherwise EAR extension. This will be the most usual artifact types. So finally, our aim is to generate an artifact, okay? Our aim is to produce an artifact by using the Maven tool. Maven is a build tool. It will compile the source code. It will generate an artifact. Got it, right? So what is this artifact consist of? What does this artifact consist of? This artifact consists of only the important files, important information, meaning this artifact consists of the necessary files, necessary libraries, necessary binaries that are necessary to run one application. If I want to run one application, I don't need the entire source code. If I want to run one application, or if the application to come into live or up and run, I don't want all the entire source code, right? I don't want the entire source code. We need an artifact. After building it, we need an artifact. So what does the artifact consist of? Artifact consists of the executable files for an application. Direct executable files. Artifact consists of the binary files. You know, right? Binary files in the sense, you know what is a binary file? Zeros and ones, which can be understandable by the computer. Okay, artifact consists of the binary files and the libraries, only the necessary libraries and the necessary binaries that are used to run one application. So to run one application, whatever the important libraries or binaries that we require, we are going to produce them in the form of an artifact. So once an artifact is generated, if someone asks you, what does the artifact consist of? Artifact consists of the necessary libraries or binaries that are required to run one application. Got it? Now, git space hyphen version, okay? Git version 2.4.0 git is installed. Now I would like to clone the repository. Let me show you. There is a public repository, okay? We already understood about github.com. We already understood about GitHub. We know how to create an organization, all these things, okay? How to create repositories, how to manage repositories, how to raise pull requests, all those things we understood. So now I would like to open a repository called online bookstore GitHub unknown online bookstore GitHub. I'm just searching for online bookstore GitHub I'm searching for a repository called online bookstore GitHub in the Google. I'm searching it in the Google. See, if in the Google, I'm searching with this particular keyword, online bookstore GitHub, and I'm able to see some of the repositories here. If I am able to see the repository, it doesn't mean that it is a public repository. So I'm searching for online bookstore GitHub repo. As I could able to access it, this is not my repo. This is not my repo. Someone has created this one. User is, okay, I am the user. That's fine. I am the user. But this repo is not created by me. This repo is created by someone. I could able to access this repo because this repo is a public one. Venkat, how can you say whether this repo is a public repository or private one? By looking at this repo, how can you say whether this is a public or private one? Can you see here? Clearly, it is indicating online bookstore. And what is the repository type here?
Public.
Public. The repository type is by public. And you can also see our repository that we have created. Okay, you see the repository that I have created. I'm going with the repository that I have created. I have some organizations, right? I have created some organizations. Inside the organizations, I have some repositories. Can you click on any of the repository and can you see what is the type of the repository?
Private. Yeah.
Private. This is the repository, right? If you remember, this is the repository yesterday we have created and we were discussing about. This is a private repository. And even if you search with ICICI savings account in the Google, if you search with this keyword in the Google, nobody will access this repository. No one can access this repository because what is the reason? No one can access the repository because this repository is made as private. Hope you understood the difference between public GitHub repository and private GitHub repository. If you made the repository as public, anyone with the help of internet connection, anyone with internet connection can able to access the repository. If you made the repository as public, anyone with internet connection can able to access the repository. Got it?
Yeah.
So let me go to the repository called online bookstore. Why I am going to online bookstore repository? Because I know the code that is present here that will work. We can see the practical example. We can understand how actually we can apply the Maven tool. Okay, and this code is working fine. That's the reason why I'm choosing this example code. Anyhow, totally this particular repository is having 11 branches. Leave about the branches and all, but I want the code which is present in the master branch. Okay, I want the code present in this repository which is present in the master branch. And if I want to clone this repository, what should I do? Do you remember? If I want to clone any repository, if I want to take the copy of any repository, I need to copy the URL of this particular repo. Hope you got it. So this is the repository. Of course, this might be a private or public. If it is a public, you can clone it. If it is a private, you should have access to it. If it is a public, anyone can able to clone it. If it is a private, you should have access. The owner should provide access to you. Then only you can clone it. Okay. Now I am going to copy the URL of this repository. This is a public repository. I would like to clone this repository into my local. I am copying the URL of this repository. Can you tell me what is the command we use for cloning the Git repo? We understood the Git commands in the previous sessions. What is the command we use for cloning the Git repo? If you remember, we use a command called git clone. We use a command called git clone and the repository URL. That's it. Very simple. Git clone the repository URL. This is the repository URL. And I have shown you very clearly where we are copying the repository URL. We'll go to the repository. There we will see an option called code. Just click on the drop down. We will see the URL, copy the URL and paste it over there. That's it. I'm going to run this command. I'm going to take the copy of this repository. Yes, it is done. The folder got downloaded. What is the name of the repository? This is github.com. This is the website name. Inside that, there is an organization called Shashi Raj Raja. This is an organization. What is the repository name? Online bookstore. Online bookstore. Now let's see. Let me give ls command. I'm giving ls command to see what are all the files that I have downloaded so far. And we already know this is the package that I have downloaded earlier for installing the Java. We already did it. We installed it. If you want, you can remove it. Okay, this is the package. We have already installed this package. If you want, you can remove it. Otherwise, you can keep it. And the one repository that I have downloaded, just now I have downloaded one repository, which is called online bookstore. I have downloaded one repository called online bookstore. If you want to go inside the folder, what is the command we use? I want to go inside the online bookstore. I will use a command called online cd space online bookstore and give ls command over there. You can see all these files. We have many files here. Source code. Can you see? We have a folder called source code. Venkat, can we able to differentiate which one is a file or which one is a folder here? We can able to differentiate the files and folders, right?
Yeah, folders is in blue color, the files are in white color.
Blue color. The ones which are indicating in blue color, they are the directories.
Yes.
And all the remaining ones which are showing in white color, they are the files. These are the directories. Scripts is a directory. Setup is a directory. Source is a directory. And if you want to go into the directory called source, src, yes, we can navigate to the directory and we can give ls command to see the files. Again, there is a directory called main. we can navigate to the directory. We can see the files that are present here. So if the blue color ones, okay, we need to understand the blue color ones are the directories. We can navigate to the directories and we can see the code. If I want to come back, I can simply, okay, I can simply come back. I can simply come back to the location like the slash, okay. I can simply use slash, sorry, slash root is not there. I can simply come back like, see, you can exit, okay, you can exit from there. After that, again, you can log in by using a command called sudo su hyphen. Can you see? We
Yeah.
have, we are in the, where you are at now? What is your location? Can you tell me what is your location? PWD, can you see what is your location? Your location is
Root.
slash root. PWD stands for it will print your working directory, current location. LS, these are the files and folders. What type of user you are? What
Root
type of
use.
user you are? Who am I? I'm the root user. Yes. Who am I? If you want to know what type of user, what type of user you are, who am I? You know, there is a difference between who am I and who. If I run who command, it will show all the users that were logged into this machine. It will show all the users that were logged into this machine so far. Who am I is different from who. Okay. Who am I will show you what is the current, which type of user you are. Okay, that's fine. We already discussed about those things. Okay, if you have any doubts, we will discuss them later. But we would like to understand Maven tool now. We have cloned the repository. And if I give ls command, I have a repository called online bookstore. I'm just going inside. I will give ls command inside the folder. I'm just going inside the folder. I'm giving ls command inside the folder. I am looking for a file called pom.xml. Once after going inside the repository, please verify if you have a file called pom.xml. Okay. So if it is a Java, you need to find out if there is a file called pom.xml or otherwise, if there is a file called .gradle, if there is a file with an extension called .gradle, or if there is a file with an extension called .ant. As I told you, what are the build tools? What are the popular build tools that are available for Java source code? We have Maven, Gradle, and there are many build tools, but based on this one, we will identify which build tool they are using. What is the build tool they are using? So if they are using pom.xml, fix that in your mind. If they are using pom.xml, they are going to use Maven as a build tool. If it is pom.xml, it is nothing but the build tool is Maven. That's it. The build tool is Maven only. And we need to run some Maven commands here for generating an artifact. We have the source code. Our objective is to generate an artifact from the source code. I told you what is the difference between a source code and artifact. Source code in the sense like all the dumps will be there, right? All the programs, all the code written by the developers, everything will be present here. We cannot directly copy the source code and we cannot make an application to run, to work as expected. So we need to compile the source code to generate an artifact. Once the artifact is generated, that artifact will have only required files to run one application, required binaries or libraries to run one application properly. So we are looking for an artifact. So if you want to generate an artifact, we need to run some Maven commands. What are the Maven commands that I would like to run? Let's see. Let me show you. We have some Maven commands to compile the source code and to create a package. You need to execute some Maven commands. What are the Maven commands that we need to execute to compile the source code and to create the package? We have many commands, you see. All these commands are not mandatory to learn, but there is a specific purpose for each and every command, okay? There is a specific purpose for each and every command. MVN package is enough. This particular package is enough to generate the package. Otherwise, if you want to follow in some order, first you need to run MVN validate, MVN compile, MVN test, like this. You have to come in some order. This is the order actually we follow. This is the proper order that we follow. All the Maven commands will start with MVN. And it is not mandatory to run all the commands. Only single command, MVN package command is enough to convert the source code into the package. Okay, you got it right. So all these are the optional. All these are the optional. If you want to generate a package, you need to run a command called MVN space package so that the package will be created. Let's understand now. Okay, let's understand what is the use of this Maven commands and all. Let me show you. Can you see here? We have some Maven commands like ambient validate. Do you know what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of ambient validate? This step validates, ambient validate will validate whether the project structure is correct or not. It will validate if the project structure is correct or not. Ambient validate. If I run ambient validate command, it will just verify. So for example, you see, it will check all the dependencies have been downloaded or available in the local repository. It will verify all the project structure is correct or not. The next one is compile command. What does the compile command will do? Mbn compile will compile the source code, convert all the Java files into .class files. We already know, usually when we compile, we have a compiler called JVM, right? Java Virtual Machine. So it will compile the source code, converts the .java files. Usually, all the Java files will have an extension called .java. If you see all the Java files, you will find with an extension called .java files. So once it compiles, all the .java files will be converted to .class files. And it will store all the classes in the target folder. It will store all the classes in the target folder or classes folder. I'll show you how the target folder is created and all. And we have a command called ambient test. So if there are any unit test cases for the project, we will run ambient test command. You know what is an unit test? Any idea what is a unit test? So basically, how actually the functionality, okay? How actually the functionality of the application is. If you want to verify by writing some test cases, okay, before we deploy the application, we'll just verify how actually the code is written, and we will apply some test cases on it. If we want to run the test cases, definitely we will use ambient test command. Slowly you will understand. Okay, if you don't understand, you slowly will understand. No worries. So I'm just trying to explain you all the commands: ambient validate, ambient compile, ambient test, ambient package, all these things. Okay, I have listed out all the important commands that is here. We should follow in the same order only. And we understood what is the purpose of ambient validate. It will just validate the entire structure. That's it. Whether the project structure is correct or not. Ambient compile, it will compile the source code. It will compile the source code and whatever the Java files present over there. After compilation, all the Java files, all the .java files will be converted into .class files. Okay. Once the compilation is over, all the Java files will be converted to .class files. And it will create a target folder. Inside the target folder, we will find all the class files. Fine. What is the use of ambient test command? What is the use of ambient test command? So to run the unit test cases, if you have some unit test developer along with the source code, he will also write some unit test cases. If he wants to run some unit test cases, he will run a command called ambient test. Okay. And there is another command called ambient package. This is the important command that we need to understand. What is the purpose of ambient package? You can see here. Ambient package, this step packages the compiled code in a distributable format like jar or var. This is the main command which packages the compiled code. As I told you, right, artifact. So which command will generate an artifact? This particular command, ambient package, will generate an artifact. Okay. This particular command will generate an artifact. Okay. So let's run the commands. Okay, one by one. I'm going here. And make sure if you are running the commands, make sure that you are present inside the folder called pom.xml. You are in the place where the pom.xml is available. And I have just navigated to the folder called online bookstore. I just give an ls command here to see the list of files. I have these files available here. Now what I'm doing, I have a pom.xml file available here. So if the pom.xml is available, you can run the Maven commands. I'm just running a command called ambient validate. I am running a command called ambient validate. I already told you what is the purpose of ambient validate. It will validate the structure of the project. Ambient validate will validate the structure of the project. Whether your project structure is correct or not, it will validate. So once it is done, you can also run a command. The next command that you need to run is ambient compile. The next command we are looking at the process of how we are generating an artifact from the source code. Once the source code is available, with the help of some Maven commands, we'll be generating an artifact. Once the source code is available, with the help of Maven commands, we are generating an artifact. What are the Maven commands that we are running? First, we are trying to validate the structure by using mvn validate. After that, mvn compile. Okay, it is showing like build is all success. I am going to run a command called mvn space test. Of course, there are no test cases, but even if you run the test command, if the test cases are there, it will validate. If the test cases are not there, it will show like there are no test cases. You see here, you can see no tests to run, but build is success. Okay, there are no test cases to run. And the next command, this is the important command. It will compiles, it will pack, it will give you the artifact. Mvn package command will give you an artifact. I am running a command called mvn package. Yes. Now you can see you will get an artifact. Now I will show you what is an artifact, how you are getting an artifact. I'm just running a command called mvn package. I'll show you. Yes, build is success. You can see where the artifact is generated. You can see there is a target folder created. Inside the online bookstore folder, there is a folder created called target. Inside the target folder, we have this jar file. Can you see? This is the jar file. And you can run ls command and see there is a target folder created. You can navigate to the target folder by using a command called cd space target. Inside the target folder, you want to see the list of files. Can you able to see a file called onlinebookstore.war? Yes, this is the artifact. This is the artifact. Here only we are able to see. Can you see? This is the artifact onlinebookstore.war. So that inside the target folder, you will see the artifact. This is the artifact. Once you take this artifact and if you deploy this into some server like Tomcat, into some web server like Tomcat or JBoss, you can see your application will up and run. Okay, you can see your application will up and run. Onlinebookstore.war. This is the artifact. We will also see how we are going to deploy this artifact into some server called Tomcat so that you will understand actually. See, we are not using Tomcat nowadays. The entire scenario has changed. We are not using any web servers like Tomcat or JBoss. What we are going to do is we are converting this artifact into Docker. We are trying to we are converting this whatever the artifact that is generated, right? This artifact, once the artifact is generated, we will be converting this artifact into Docker image. Fine. Hope you understood how we are generating an artifact. What are the Maven commands that we are using? I already mentioned very clearly, you don't need to use all the Maven commands. All the Maven commands, only this Maven command is enough. Only this Maven command is enough. Once you run the mvn package command, this mvn package command will verify the project structure is correct. It will also compile the source code. It will run the test cases. It will generate the artifact. Only this particular command is enough. It will run all the things. Okay, it will validate all the things. Whatever the first three commands will do, this package command will do, and it will also give an artifact. But this is the actual process we need to follow. If you don't want to generate an artifact, if you want to just validate the project, you can run this command. If you just wanted to validate, you can run this command. If you want to compile the source code, you can run this command. If you want to run the test cases, you can run this command. But if you want to do all at a time, you can simply run this command. If you run mvn package, it will validate, it will compile, it will run the test cases, finally it will generate an artifact. That's how the Maven tool is designed. These are the Maven commands that we use. And we are also having one more command called mvn install. Mvn install. The purpose of mvn install is, you see, I'm going to run mvn install also. Mvn package we install. Now I'm going to install mvn install. Make sure whenever you run a command, I'm running mvn install command, it is failing. Can anyone tell me what is the reason why it is failing? I'll tell you the reason why we are running mvn install, but it is failing here because we are not at the correct location. We are in the target folder. This is not the right place to run the Maven commands. What is the right place to run Maven commands? You should be there at the pom.xml file. You see, I'm giving ls command. Okay, I'm giving ls command. Here is the pom.xml. Inside the online bookstore folder, here is the pom.xml. If the pom.xml is available, you can run a command called mvn install. You can run a command called mvn install. That's it. So that what happens is you see before that when we use mvn package command. Okay, when we run mvn package command, the package so target folder will be created. Inside the target folder, our artifact will be stored. That is the use of mvn package command. Okay, if I run mvn package command, an artifact will be a target folder will be created. Inside the target folder, our artifact is going to be stored over there. But what about mvn install? If I run mvn install, you see here, if I run mvn install, there is a local Maven repository. There is a local Maven repository, and the default location of local Maven repository is .m3. I'm just going for cd.m2, sorry, .m2. Okay, there is a default location called .m2. Let me come back and see. There is a location called cd space .m2. Yes. Can you see? You need to come to the root location and search for .m2. What is this .m2? Do you know what is the dot refers? Hope you know what is this dot refers. If a file is starting with dot, what do you mean by that? If a file name is starting with dot, it is nothing but a hidden file. If the file name or folder is starting with dot, it is nothing but a hidden. Let me come back to the root folder. I'm giving ls command. Do we have any files here? Files and folders? Yes. This is the RPM file and this is the online bookstore folder git repository. Fine. Okay. I would like to create one empty file. Okay. I'm going to create an empty file called touch space dot file1. What is the meaning of touch space file1? I'm creating an empty file called file1. If I give ls command, we can see file1 over here. In the same way, I am running a command called touch space file2, but the file name is starting with dot symbol here. What is the meaning? The file name is starting with dot. I'm giving ls command and see. Can we able to see the file2 here? File2 is also created. File2 is also created, but file2 is a hidden file. File1 is not, file1 is a normal file, file2 is a hidden file. How we are identifying which one is a hidden file and which one is a normal file? The file name which is starting with a dot symbol, they are called hidden files. How to look after the hidden files? ls-a. You can give ls-a. If I give ls, it will display only the normal files. If I give ls, it will display only the normal files. If I give ls-a, it will display all the files you see. It is displaying all the files, all the hidden files. So we have a normal file. Okay, the file names normally starts like file1 is a normal file. What about .ssh? Is it a file or directory? .ssh. It is a directory, but it is a hidden directory. .m2, hidden directory. .chrc, it is a hidden folder, hidden file. All these are the hidden files. Can you see .file2 is a hidden file? Any questions in understanding what is a hidden file and what is a normal file? Venkat, are you there? No. What happened? Okay, Pawan, you are here, right? Hope you understood, right? What is a hidden file and normal file?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Pawan.
Can
You are.
you can you once again explain that one, Kaushik?
Okay. So you see here, I'm just giving an ls command. Okay. So here we have some list of files. File1, online bookstore, all these things. Okay. So file1 is displaying. Consider I'm going to create a new file called file3, but I am placing dot symbol before file3. I'm just placing dot symbol before file3. What is the meaning of dot symbol? Dot in the sense the file will be hidden. Okay. I'm just running this command, touch space file3. Again, I'm running a command called ls. Can you see? Are we able to see file3 here? No. And if I give ls-a, ls-a will display all the files, hidden files, normal files, everything. I'm just running ls-a. Can you see file3 here?
Yes.
Yes. So meaning we need to understand what is a normal file and what is hidden file. Say when I give ls command, it will display all the normal files. That is fine.
Okay.
If I give ls-a, it will display all the hidden files as well as normal files also. See this online bookstore, this is a folder, normal folder only. File1 is a normal file. What about .ssh? It is a hidden directory.
Okay.
.m2, hidden
Hidden.
directory. .file3, hidden file. Will not display for us. Except if you give ls-a, when you give ls-a, that time only it will display all the hidden files and folders. Otherwise, it will display only the normal files only. ls command will display only the normal files. ls-a will provides you all the list of hidden files as well as normal files, folders as well. Hope you got it. Okay. So
Yes.
now I am talking about .m2. When we are discussing about, see, when we are learning Maven tool, we should understand there is a local Maven repository called .m2. This is a hidden folder. So if I want to say, okay, if we want to discuss on this, we need to understand once you install Maven, this .m2 folder will be created internally. If you install Maven, this .m2 folder will be created. How to verify the .m2 folder? You can give like the cd space .m2. If you want to navigate to the directory called cd, if you want to navigate to the directory called m2, you can navigate to the directory called cd space .m2. I'm giving ls command. What is the thing that I can see here? A repository. You can go to the repository, cd space repository, give ls command. I have all these are the, I have some dependencies here. Inside that, I will able to see online bookstore folder. You can go online bookstore. Okay. And I can, again, one more folder is there. I'm able to see some snapshot here. I'm going inside the snapshot. If I give ls command here, I can able to see one more artifact. The same artifact only. See, online bookstore artifact is generated into the target folder that I already know. The same artifact will be copied to the same artifact will be copied to the .m2 repository. What is .m2? If you say, I have already understood Maven, I learned Maven tool. Okay. If we say it, if we say like this, okay, I have already learned Maven tool and all. Definitely people will ask you, what is a Maven local repository? What is the default Maven local repository? The default Maven local repository is .m2. Okay. Whenever we run mbn install command, I'm talking about mbn install. If you run mbn install command, the artifact that is present in the target folder that will be copied to the .m2 folder. You got it, Pawan?
Yes, yes, Swamiji.
When you run mbn install command, whatever the artifact present in the target folder, the same artifact will be copied to the .m2 folder, local repository. This is local, Maven local repository. .m2 is a Maven local repository.
Only one artifact is there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That will the same thing. Earlier we had seen this in our target folder. Okay, let me go to my previous location. I will simply exit from here. I'm going to sudo su hyphen. Again, I'm just logging as root user. You see ls command here. These are the files and folders available for me. Okay. And if you go online bookstore, this is the repository. I'm giving ls command. Can we see target folder here?
Yes.
Inside the target folder, if you give ls command, there is a package called online bookstore. This is the artifact that we have generated by when this artifact will be generated. If you give a command called mbn space,
Package.
mbn package will give you the artifact in the target folder. And if you want to copy the same artifact into the Maven local repository, what is the command you need to run?
Install.
Mbn install. Once you run mbn install, the same artifact will be copied to another location, which is called .m2 folder. So .m2 is the default Maven local repository path. Once you install Maven, .m2 folder will be created. And when you run mbn install command, all the files, all the jar files, it is like a storage. Found it is just like a storage.
Okay.
Got it, right? So today we are running one file. Okay, maybe see if I run mbn package once again, you see here, if I run mbn package once again, what happens?
Artifact.
This artifact will get erased, and a new one will come into the picture here. New one will come into this place. New version will come.
Okay.
If I
Yeah.
want to store all the versions,
Mm.
where we are storing, what is the storage? .m2.
Yes.
So what we are doing, after generating the package, I am giving mven install command so that this particular package will be stored at the .m2 repository. And whenever you give the new command, whenever you want to generate new artifacts, you don't have any issue. Why? Because everything you are storing at a place called .m2. Every day, every version you are storing at .m2 folder. So you will be having a backup of each and every artifact. To maintain the backup, we will be running mn install command so that each and every artifact will be stored in .m2 repository. Got it now?
Yeah, yeah.
Any questions in today's session? Please practice. Okay, whatever the way we have installed all these packages and all, please practice. Then we will be discussing. We'll be continuing discussion in the next session. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't have any questions, we will. Thank you all.